To give you an example, I just wanted to walk through, I put some hypothetical numbers on here for four different types of immigration law firms. And like I said, all these are hypothetical numbers, just based on scenarios and situations that I've seen. So, I mean, if we're looking at scenario A, where we see that, first, how much cash do they have on hand? We see, okay, how much cash is coming in, let's say on a average on a monthly basis, how much cash is coming in, we see how much cash is going out. And so this very quick snapshot can help us start to really identify, like, do we have a situation where we need to really dig in and look more closely? And so when you start to look at this, what I did is I added some color coding of some quick things that really jumped out to me. So if we look at, firm A, what I can see is they are this firm, based on the way they're operating, they currently have about $15,000 worth of cash in their bank account now, but also the way that they're operating it, they're generating a profit, which I would say is this firm probably doesn't have an immediate need for us to go in and dig much deeper than this. I would say is that if they're probably busy doing a lot of new casework, they probably don't need to spend a ton of time digging into every single detail. Now, if we get to firm B, which is a scenario I see a lot, is this firm has a lot of cash on hand. But the issue that I see is they're spending more than they're actually bringing in. And so if I were to see this scenario, that a lot of times the law firm will look at this and say, well, we have $230,000 in the bank account, but every single month you're losing money. So eventually that large balance that you have in the bank account, that what may be making you feel comfortable probably isn't going to stay the same if we continue to lose money. And so we need to go back in and look at this. Like, is this a situation of maybe the clients that you're supporting, maybe they're not paying their invoices. So we need to make sure that, hey, we have a process where we follow up on collecting on those invoices. Or maybe there are some expenses that we need to look at and consider, hey, how do we cut back on some expenses? Because a business can only lose money for so long. Like, you may have a temporary sense of comfort because there's cash there, but if you continue to lose money, eventually it will become a problem. Now, for firm C, I'm looking at this one, and the scenario is great that they're spending less than what they have coming in. So they're operating at, let's say, a net profit. But one of the things that I also look at is the amount of cash that they have on hand. Like, if something were to happen, let's say some unexpected expenses came up and something changed as far as how much money is coming in, like, they don't have a lot of wiggle room to really, or let me say, they don't have a lot of, cash reserves to really, have to navigate some unexpected things. So for this firm, I would say is it looks like you're managing the cash coming, the money coming in versus the money going out is fine. Where I think we probably would have to look at a strategy is, how do we start to add more money to your operating reserve so we give yourself a little bit more of a cushion? Because if something unexpected happens, which it always does when you're running a business, is you want to make sure that you've given yourself some type of cushion. And then for scenario D, for firm D, it's they're operating at a profitable level. But again, similar to C, I would say is we probably would look a little bit further to say, hey, this is the money coming in is barely more than the money going out. We probably should start to kind of consider, like, are there some expenses in this situation that we can either cut back on? And also, how do we start to build up some of that cash cushion? Because, I mean, you're probably one to maybe two to, situations away from that number going from being a positive 900 to being a negative number.